Good day guys, my name is Dan and welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. Before we launch into our video for today, I just want to say the biggest thank you to everyone who has been supporting us since we first started this channel 6 weeks ago. We've finally hit 1000 subs today and it's a fist pump moment, #milestone achievement, and we're just so super happy and so super grateful to you guys for believing in us. So do hang around to the end of this video. We are going to announce a $50 giveaway. I know it's not much, but we haven't earned a single cent from this channel yet, so we're still poor people, but we did really want to celebrate our milestone with you guys and give something small back to you as a token for being such a great, supportive and fun community. So please do make sure you check out the details of the giveaway at the end of this video. Tron had its testnet launch 2 days ago and it was done via livestream with Justin Sun. Now about a week ago we did a big post explaining everything you need to know about Tron, especially going into testnet week. We wanted to help to educate people about what Tron is really all about and help individuals to develop their own accurate and educated opinion of the project. Originally, we weren't planning to do an update after the live stream because we assumed that there will be lots of posts on social media with information about the live stream. And the live stream was really an update, so the information should be fairly accurate, right? Wrong. In just 2 days, there are now so many different accounts of the Tron update and the Tron price has dropped, which has invited more people to jump on board with more FUD and more false information about the live stream details, and it has become very confusing very quickly as to what the actual update was all about. So I thought that we would do an update video today to give our community an accurate summary of the live stream, and I also felt that we owed it to you guys, especially because we just did a Tron video last week. The other reason I thought I would do the summary is because I understand Mandarin and the live stream was done by Justin Sun, whose mother tongue is in Mandarin, and he self-translated on air into English. Now there were subtle differences between the English and Mandarin translations that many posts who give an account of the live stream and only look at the English translation failed to pick up. And I think that some of these subtle differences has contributed to some of the confusion that's out there. For example, in their first update, which was about the team, Justin Sun said in English, "Right now, our Tron team is increased to 100 people. Most of them is from Alibaba, Tencent, Amazon, very prestigious companies." This gave the impression that most of the team currently are from these three giant companies' background. But the actual version when he said it in Mandarin actually meant, "Our team has grown to 100 people with most of our members coming from big companies, full stop." Example, Alibaba, Tencent, Amazon, etc. So these big companies were just examples of some of their staff background, which is a very different impression from the English version that the majority of the staff came from these three companies. Do you see the difference? So it's subtle but important. I think the live stream overall was a very good live stream done by Justin Sun with very good information given. However, because there were bits where the translation wasn't done the best, it may be worth going through it with the advantage of understanding both languages and getting an accurate update from that. So without further ado, we will now launch into an accurate review of what the live stream video was all about. The first part of the update was an overall progress update on the whole project of Tron. The very first bit of this portion was really the team update, which we just mentioned, and the second thing that he updated was about the exchanges of Tron, mainly fiat to crypto and crypto to crypto. So Tron is currently on 37 exchanges with 7 fiat pairings, and at this point Justin did make a couple of references to Ethereum, stating that just as Ethereum is a major fiat to crypto pairing, he expects Tron to be a major fiat to crypto entry point in the near future as well. So this is huge because at the moment there are almost 2,000 coins on the market, but you can't change most of them directly to and from fiat. You need to swap them through a gateway currency that you can swap in and out of fiat. The biggest two gateway currencies at the moment are Bitcoin and Ether, who also have the biggest pairings on the most exchanges. But the two of them are also falling out of fashion quickly due to slow transfer times. And so rising popular alternatives are Ripple, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. This is why it's such a big deal for a coin to get onto Coinbase, because everyone who wants to buy a smaller altcoin has to go through an entry exchange like Coinbase, where they can exit and enter the market exchanging fiat to crypto. So if Tron manages to establish itself as a major fiat to crypto pairing, this would see Tron's price and trade volume rise significantly. And that is what Justin Sun is promising in the near future. Justin Sun also said here that currently Tron is already one of the highest trading volumes in crypto trading. And this is true. If you look at Binance, which is the biggest exchange at the moment, if you look at the BTC pairing as well as the Ether pairing, Tron is the first in both in terms of 24-hour trading volume. And what Justin said here is that when Tron establishes itself as an established fiat crypto pairing, Tron's trade volume will exceed even that of Bitcoin or Ethereum. And that's really quite believable, because even currently on the Ethereum, on the Bitcoin market, Tron's trading volume on Binance is already higher than Ether, almost double that of Ether's. Now, the thing I want to point out here is that Justin is talking about Tron's trade volume. Trade volume is the volume of the coin being traded on the market. He was not talking about the token price or market cap, which is reflective of the coin's worth. But some people have translated it and said that he is claiming that Tron's market cap will be bigger than Ethereum's market cap in the near future, which is not what he was saying at all. Okay. Currently, Ethereum's market cap is about 20 times higher than Tron, and Tron will not be able to catch up with that for quite a while. But in terms of trading volume, Ethereum's trading volume is only 4 times higher than Tron, and on some big exchanges like Binance, Tron's trading volume is actually higher than Ethereum's. So Tron's trading volume currently is higher than any of the top 10 coins like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or Ripple, except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think this is a very believable claim by Justin Sun. A couple of other announcements that Justin mentioned in the overall progress update was that he confirmed that mainnet release date will be on the 31st of May, and he also spoke about the community, and he said that currently Tron has 500,000 token holders with millions of supporters, and the Tron community is one of the biggest crypto communities in the world. We know this is not a big surprise. He then moved on to the main event of the live stream, which was the Testnet launch. The first thing he talked about was the vision. He mentioned that Tron's platform has given the impression that it is an entertainment platform. And whilst this is true for now, Tron is going to be so much more than that. Entertainment dApps are only the first use of Tron's platform, but ultimately Tron's vision is to decentralize the web itself. And at this point, Justin Sun actually launches into a short explanation of what decentralized internet means and why Tron's vision to decentralize the web makes it a bigger project in scope from any other platforms, example Ethereum or Bitcoin. I got very excited when I heard him talk about this, because this was the main point of Tron that I think a lot of people miss out on, and it's great to see that the team is still very focused on achieving this picture goal. Our review video last week was spot on, guys. Everything that Justin Sun explained here, even down to referencing Tim Berners-Lee, was captured on our video last week. We were 1 week ahead of time, and if you haven't checked out our review video yet, I encourage you to do so, because there aren't many videos out there that do address this philosophical goal of Tron, but you really have to understand it to understand Tron. The second thing that Justin then covered was their scope, and his scope was basically to be the world's biggest dApp platform. So he wants to be the world's biggest platform, and the way he defined biggest was not based on the number of apps on the platform, but based on the user base. So meaning it doesn't matter how many apps you have, what matters is how many people use your apps. Fair call. To support this goal, he said that Tron's platform will support high scalability and high throughput support. For those who don't understand the term throughput support, think of it as transaction speeds, and we'll come to this later. The third thing that Justin mentioned about the testnet is that the platform is meant to be an ecosystem, and he says that they plan to be a bigger ecosystem than Ethereum. And here is worth pointing out that he specifically uses the word ecosystem, not platform. Let me explain this briefly so that you understand what is an ecosystem. An ecosystem by definition is where all parts of the body interact with each other and support each other. So your body is a biological ecosystem. So if your leg is itchy, my hand can scratch my leg. If my eye wants to pick something up, my hand will help my eye to pick something up and my legs will walk over to that object. So there is a constant interaction between the different parts of my body to help each specific part to achieve their goals. So especially in the very early phase where Tron is starting out as an entertainment app platform, it is very believable that these apps will have a lot of interactions with each other and build an entertainment platform ecosystem. However, neutral platforms like Ethereum, for example, their dApps have very little interactions with each other and they're quite isolatory because there is no main theme for the platform, it's just a generic platform. So each project can be completely unrelated to the other projects on the platform or in a completely different market. Thus, it's not really a robust ecosystem. So definitely Tron can be a better ecosystem than Ethereum. The next news was exciting news about airdrops. Justin did announce that they were grateful to Ethereum for all their support over the last 6 months, and they will be doing Ethereum airdrops sometimes in the next quarter. It's not clear what he meant by Ether airdrops, but we presume that it means ERC20 tokens. A slight warning here for those of you who have already noticed or haven't noticed yet. Since this announcement about Tron airdrops, all over social media, including YouTube, in the comments, even on our channel comments, there have been people announcing fake airdrops for Tron and including a link there. Do not click on the link. There has been no formal announcement of an airdrop at this point, and any link is a scam. One last update from Justin in this area is about the focus of the second quarter, and he really said the second quarter would be focused on moving over to mainnet. First, the entire Tron network moving over to their own mainnet of the Ethereum platform, but secondly, also to include talks with their base partners like Payroll, Game.com, Obyte, Trip.io, etc. to discuss them moving over to the Tron mainnet as well. At this point, of course, he can't confirm anything, but he certainly sounded very confident that this would happen. In the next and biggest part of the update, Justin Sun used a comparison between Tron and Ethereum to highlight the main features of the Tron network. The first feature he highlighted was the transaction speed. So this one got everyone's attention because everyone's so big about transaction speed these days. And he announced that Tron's current transaction speed will be at least 400 times that of Ethereum, Ethereum being 25 transactions per second, according to him. So Tron is starting at 10,000 transactions per second. This immediately places Tron as one of the top transaction speeds on the market currently. Now, there are a few projects who promise higher transaction speeds, but in terms of actual working product, which Tron has now, they are one of the fastest. And he announced that they can scale and become even faster in the future. The second point that he mentioned was about transaction fees, and this was also a huge announcement. Where Ethereum's current cost of transactions on their platform costs 2 cents, and this cost may increase over time. Okay, he said that this cost of even 2 cents was potentially burdensome for new developers who have large volumes of transactions. So to compete with them, Tron has now announced that they will have 0 transaction fees. So there will be no need for users to use Tron token for platform transactions. This will make them extremely attractive compared to any other platforms, not just Ethereum, for potential dApp users. Now, in our last review, you would note that we were concerned that Tron's fees were very low. Basically, then they were planning to charge something the equivalent of 200,000 transactions for 1 cent. So it seems like the update is that they decided to just make it free, which truthfully, economically, it doesn't make a difference because it was so cheap, it wasn't practical anyway. But now it just sounds a whole lot better because it's officially announced as free. But the question remains, which is, if you don't use the tokens for platform transaction, is there still enough avenue for token use? If not, the Tron platform might fall into the Ripple trap, where the company technology is used and the company makes a lot of partnerships and becomes very successful, but the token price stagnates and the token holders do not earn money. So this is a bit worrying for me, to be honest. The next exciting news that Tron mentioned was about their coin burn. Now, this was a very anticipated piece of news. The way they're going to do the coin burn is every new user, meaning every new debt developer on their platform, will have the right to issue a new token according to Tron protocol. So they don't have to use the Tron token, they can develop their own token. The cost of developing that new token on the Tron platform will cost 1,024 Tron tokens to be burnt permanently. But something here about the maths doesn't quite make sense to me. Now think about this for a moment with me. Tron has 100 billion tokens as its total supply. If it only costs a measly 1024 tokens, basically 1000 tokens, for an app to create its coin, then essentially you need to have 100 million apps to burn even 10% of the coin. So that doesn't sound right. It's way too small. Now some people are saying that it's not the 124 trons burning for every new token or every new cryptocurrency, but it's 124 tron being burned for each new token. That means if they create or mint 1000 tokens, then they have to pay 1000 times 1024 tron. Okay, but this doesn't make sense too as well, because Allcoin, who is only one of their partners, has a total supply of 10 billion. So if Allcoin has to pay 1000 Tron for every one of those 10 billion token, then they're going to end up paying like $100 million just to be launched on Tron's platform, which is not going to happen. And they themselves will take out all of the tokens on Tron's market. So that can't be either. The third version that people are saying is out there is that one Tron token is being burned for every 1024 other tokens created on its platform. This also doesn't make sense, because then it will mean a very large variation in startup costs for different apps. So apps like Allcoin, who have huge amounts of tokens, will be paying a lot more compared to others who have small number of tokens. This will also limit every new debt project to go for low supply volume, high price tokens, which would mean very small flexibility for the project. So this doesn't make sense. And as I went through the live stream like 10 times in this portion to try and work it out, and I'm very sure it doesn't say 1 Tron for 1000 new tokens. And the worst rumor that's going around the FUD is saying that, oh, this is not about the new tokens. This is taking 1000 current Tron to convert to 1 Tron mainnet token in May. And that is why people need to quickly sell their Tron now. So that is pure FUD. And that's one of the things that's contributed to people panic selling the Tron token over the last 24 hours. And to be honest, this FUD is complete rubbish. It has no basis. Justin Sun never mentioned anything even remotely close to that. So out of these 4 versions, okay, the only 2 possible versions is 1000 Tron burn for each new token, that means as a new cryptocurrency, or 1000 Tron burn for each new actual token minted. In the Mandarin version, I think what he meant was 1000 Tron for each new cryptocurrency, okay? Each new token meaning a new form of crypto on the platform. And you've also got to remember that Tron tends to try and create low cost for entry companies. So it's unlikely they're going to demand high hundreds of millions to use their platform. It's more likely they're going to undercharge and charge a very, very small fee to make themselves attractive to new apps. You've also got to remember that Tron's vision is to be a decentralized web to host thousands of apps, and a roadmap that is about 10 years long. So I think that what Justin Sun actually meant is that he's only going to charge 1024 Tron for a new token to be launched on the Tron platform, which is so small, it's basically giving it for free. Okay, this is very attractive to potential debt users, and I'm sure because of this, we will see a lot of debt users flock to use the Tron protocol. But it's actually very disappointing news for token holders, because it means that nothing is being done for the token price. There is a piece of good news, which is Tron has announced that it will not increase its supply until 2021 at least. So Tron's current circulating supply is 65 million, and its total supply is 100 billion. So 65 billion and 100 billion. So the remaining 35 billion will be locked until 2021 at least. So this is good. At least we know that there isn't going to be a release of another 35 billion that would simply bring the price crashing. They also announced that they would be focusing more on getting mobile apps out because they recognize that most people these days use mobile apps more than they use PCs. Another big news that Justin announced was that Tron will be using $1 billion to provide for community support. And this is massive because other major platforms like Ethereum have no community support at all. And also $1 billion is an astoundingly large amount of money. It's almost half of their current market cap, which is sitting only at $2.2 billion. This $1 billion will be rewarded based on upcoming reward plans, which will be given to those who will help with 1. Decentralizing process, 2. Wallet development, 3. Blockchain website, and 4. The users who are making apps and creating tokens. So imagine if you are a user who is potentially considering using Tron as the platform to develop your app. Firstly, you only pay 1,024 tokens to launch your own cryptocurrency, which at the moment would cost you what, $30? And this is nothing for a multi-million-dollar project, of course. But on top of spending only $30 to launch your own crypto, you can also get a reward back from this pool of a $1 billion community support reward. So, I mean, Tron is really doing everything they can to make themselves the most attractive platform for new debt users. The last significant update from this news from this whole update was about nodes. Okay, there will be a mining process, and anyone can own a node if you own Tron token, but you will need to be elected by the community to be able to be rewarded. So basically, the more Tron you have, the more voting or electing influence you have. So it's a bit of a hybrid model between delegated proof of stake and proof of work, where you actually have to do some mining work, but the rewards are subjected to nodes being elected in a delegated proof of stake style. For more detailed information about proof of work and delegated proof of stake, do check out our Tron review a week ago. We explain it in great detail there. The rewards for the mining is set at 100 million a year, so it should be quite profitable mining, definitely more profitable than Bitcoin mining at this point. And lastly, and this is very important, based on the amount of Tron you hold, Tron tokens you hold, the Tron tokens actually give the holder an influence or voting weight in terms of platform decisions, like how the resources are allocated on the platform. And this is very, very big in crypto world and a new concept. And let me explain why. When you buy shares on the share market, right? So not crypto, but real world shares. When you buy shares, you are actually buying a share of the ownership of the company, and you are given a right to have a say in what happens in the company, right? So we call shares an equity token. But in crypto, when you buy a token, you don't actually own a part of the company. You simply gain access to the utility of the token, meaning you use it for transactions or for payments on the platform. So you use it as a currency. So we call this token a utility token. Cryptos are always utility token, but Tron in this entire review seems to be describing the Tron token as more of an equity token, where 1, there isn't any utility used since the token isn't used for anything if the transaction fees are free. And number 2, token holders are now getting a say in the major decisions of how the actual platform is being run, which is unheard of in any other blockchain project. Any other blockchain project, even if you hold like 1 million tokens, it is still the team that decides whatever happens to the platform. Your 1 million tokens that you hold is simply an investment. That's all. It doesn't give you a stakeholder say in the company. To me, this was actually the most important point I took home from the Tron livestream, that Tron is describing the Tron token as more of an equity token style rather than a utility token review. The livestream basically ended here. There was a more technical livestream with the tech team in Beijing without Justin Sun, but that's really more for developers, and it was very technical in details. For token holders like yourself and me, this was mainly the main livestream shown. Currently, Tron's price is sitting at 29 cents and it's dropped a massive 40% since the live stream. I think this is partly natural correction after the hype, and there was also a lot of unrealistic disappointment because, as we mentioned in our review last week, some people were going into Testnet week and spreading rumors that the coin burn was going to be a once-off massive burn which would caused the price in the coin to shoot up, which we clarified it wasn't, because they already announced it was going to be a slow burn over time. And so I think some people just got disappointed when they found out that the coin burn was a slow burn, not an instant burn. And also some people are spreading FUD now, as we mentioned earlier, that the 1000 to 1 ratio is about users or token holders losing tokens when we cross over to mainnet, which is absolutely not true. At this point in time, the token translation from ERC20 to mainnet is still remaining as 1:1. Okay. And on top of all of this, over the last few days, the market itself has been bad, and most coins have seen a 25 to 25% dip across the board. So Tron's current dip in price is probably a combination of all the above factors, and it wasn't as some people suggested because the live stream was bad or the live stream released bad news. In fact, I think that the live stream was very well done, and I think Justin Sun did a great job, and the Tron team deserve a pat on the back. In conclusion, I get the sense that Tron is setting itself up to be the cheapest, most supportive, most attractive platform for debt users. It will attract a lot of attention with its current pricing. But what I'm concerned about is that Tron is making things attractive for the platform users at the expense of the token holders. They're making it very attractive for the users on the platform by making everything free and very, very low cost. But as a result, the token price is not going to rise. Currently, Tron is not officially an equity yet, it's merely a currency. And if a currency isn't used, the value goes down. The only way for a cryptocurrency to increase at the moment is to, one, either use it more, or number two, to reduce its supply. Okay, the coin burn price is way too small to have any significant impact on the token price in the short to medium term. And the free transactions on the platform is just worrying because there really doesn't seem to be any other avenue of token use whatsoever. And I also worry about scalability that we talked about last week. Currently, Tron is about 400 times faster than Ethereum, but when we compare them to the newer platforms, they are faster, but we're really only about 3 to 4 times faster than the average platform out there. Now, the volume of dApps that they're aiming for to, in terms of being the biggest platform in the world is ridiculous, right? They literally are aiming for thousands of times more apps than the average platform currently. And the question is, can they scale fast enough? They are fast now, but they don't seem to be ridiculously faster that they would need to be if they are looking at the volume of apps, especially entertainment apps and games that they want to host. Because we really saw the effect of CryptoKitties on Ethereum last year. One game can cripple an entire network, and Tron wants to be an entertainment platform that will host many, many game companies. Today, they didn't discuss any scalability solutions. They just mentioned that they will be highly scalable. So this is a news that we will have to keep our eyes out for. Now, different people are going to make different decisions at this point in terms of what they do with their bags of Tron. I'm personally going to hold until mainnet because now it's a very sucky price to sell, and I'm not really worried about the current price. I think it's driven partly by the market and partly by a lot of false FUDs, which means I believe it will self-correct later on. I also expect the price to rise approaching mainnet, and many people in the general market are also hopeful that the market will start to pick up towards the end of April or May. And if by mainnet I still remain unconvinced about their token use, I will probably sell my Tron tokens then. Okay, but if they can sort out the token use to give the token holders some reassurance that their focus isn't just on the platform users but also on token price and token holders, then this is a project that I fundamentally like and I would like to hodl. So that's it for me, guys. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you like this video, do give us a like and subscribe. Do join our awesome community, which is growing, and I think we have one of the best communities out there. I really do. People on the channel are friendly, respectful, and genuinely keen to share good recommendations with one another. As we announced at the start, we are so grateful to everyone who has joined us previously or today that we would like to do a $50 giveaway to celebrate hitting a milestone of 1,000 subs. This giveaway is not a regular thing we do. We've never done it before. We don't want to build a channel where people join us for the free drops. We want to build a channel where people join us for the good content that we produce. And we know that you guys are with us for the right reasons because we've never done this before. And we love you guys so much. We just want to celebrate this happy occasion with you. So if I could give all of you $50, I would. But trust me, for now, we just don't have that kind of money. So I can only give one of you a $50 giveaway. If you could please leave a comment with your Ethereum address in the comment section below. In our next video tomorrow, we will do a random pick and give away that $50 worth of Ethereum. $50 worth of Ethereum is not much now, but it may be worth $200 in just a couple of months' time if the market picks up. One last thing about tomorrow is we will be doing a review on Oyster Protocol, which is one of our top picks for the month of April. The Oyster Protocol airdrop is just around the corner. We are 4 days away. So we want to provide you guys with some good information to help you in your decision as to whether or not you think it's a good coin to invest in. So make sure you join us for that as well, as to find out if you've won the giveaway. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us again today. I hope you're having a great Easter Sunday. Take care and we will catch you guys tomorrow.